This message came to me as I was preparing for my morning. Washing my face, brushing my teeth, typical usual morning routines. Thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being present. Thank you for allowing yourself to be open to connect. Don't know where you are in the world, but I'm praying for your healing. I'm praying for your grounding. I'm praying for your centering. I am praying that you are being much more kinder to yourself. I'm praying that you are putting yourself first. I'm praying that you are releasing. That way you are receiving what you need to continue on your journey. Love and light. Ooh, I love the smell of Palo Santos. Okay, so this is going to be a quick message. I just wanted to get it out before I went on my walk. Make sure you're drinking your water because it's really hot outside. Like, it gets really, really hot outside, depending on where you're at. So, Most High, please give me the strength, the discernment, the wisdom, serenity, courage to channel this message to the best of my ability. Anything that is not of you, I ask that it be returned back to sender. I ask that the doors close. Any hexes, black magic, curses, evil eye, I return that back to sender times 3. I welcome only love and gratitude, and I put that back out into the universe times 10 as well. Okay, so what came to me this morning, and I've heard it before, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. And it's in an essence of balance. It's in an essence of tables always turn, you know, the scales always balance themselves out. So I don't know exactly what you're going through, but being that we are all connected by one spirit, because we are all alike, we're just at different parts, different points in our journey. We're working on different, parts of ourselves, dealing with different traumas, trials, tribulations. I know that sometimes it's very overwhelming to go through certain obstacles and then kind of feel like you have weight on you, feel like you don't know what you're doing, feel like you're confused, feel like you're doing it, for no reason, feel like you've been just kind of going through the motions and there's no end game in sight. The reality of it is we always have to go through our seasons of preparation. You pray for something, you ask for something, or you have something in mind, you will receive it, but it's a matter of you building the characteristic traits to willingly embrace it when it comes, voluntarily embrace it when it comes, rather than trying to run from it. Because sometimes when we ask for things, the biggest saying is be careful what you ask for, because when you get it, you might not want it. That's one thing. And then it's also when it comes, you might not be ready. Usually people run. Rich Rising. Oh, I like that name, Fortune Cookie. Yeah, you run. So we have to, nobody's exempt from the season of preparation. Nobody is excluded from the season of preparation. Nobody can avoid the season of preparation. You have to go through your training. You have to receive your development. You have to receive the skills so you can utilize your tools that you have within your grasp to get whatever assignment you're on, whatever job you're on, whatever task you've been handling, whatever problem you've been, working on. Like, you have to go through character building to move as efficiently as possible. Some people may understand this, some people may not, some people never will, and that's fine. But back to the main point, more than likely, you're probably the first. I had to accept that about myself. I am the first in my family, I am the first different person, right? And when I say different, it's a very broadened perspective. So I move a little differently because of the way I look at things, because of what I've been through, and because of my understanding, because of the experiences, because of the wisdom that I've received. So with being different, being the first in my family, I had to accept the truth about myself. Because whether I wanted to, whether I was afraid to, whether I wanted to run from the truth, whether I tried to avoid it, the truth still remained. And that is how life is. The truth never changes. It just may get more intensified over time. It may hold more weight. It may be more in your face than it ever was before, because life will go on without you, whether you accept the truth or not. I'm the first in my family to do things differently than anybody else has ever done them. There may have been or be people that are similar to me, but because of my assignment, because of my calling, because of how it's been written for me to explore certain things, because of my destiny, because of what's in me, because of having a very close connection in relationship with source, with the universe, with myself, because of putting love first, because of putting God first, because of choosing to be aware of what energizes me, what brings me joy, what helps me feel soul fed, or what drains me of my energy, what makes me feel uncomfortable. Because of paying attention to these things and willingly opening myself up to accept the truth about myself, now I understand I am the first. I used to be the last, because you go through a season of over dedication and then you realize you were great the whole time. So once you tap into that energy of, man, I've been doing things this way all because I didn't know my worth. I've been doing things this way all because I wasn't aware. I've been doing things this way all because I was overlooking the importance within myself, right? I am wise enough to know that I am important, that I do matter. What I touch touches me back, and what touches me, um, excuse me, what I touch touches me back, and what touches me also touches that other person, place, or thing. So, with coming into self realization of understanding the importance of self, you also have to keep practicality in mind, which is, yes, you're important, but the world is also much bigger than you, right? The world is not going to stop for you. The world is going to go on with or without you. So you might as well start accepting the truth about yourself now. You do matter. You are important. Okay, so how are you going to move now? Now that you understand these things, how are you going to move now that you've gained insight and enlightenment, and you've awakened to the fact that you make a difference if you choose to make a difference, right? I used to be last, and now I am first. And with understanding the magic that's within me, the magic that I put out, which is pure love, which is pure healing, which is just the vibration of peace and helping others transition, because that's what I've been doing for myself. I have accepted I am the first in my family. I am the first in my so-called friendships. I am the first in these so-called romantic relationships that I've had across my lifespan, with being here for 29 years. Oh, I'm not speaking on politics, love. I'm just speaking on spirituality. The main thing, before I get off topic, I've realized for me, because I know it's pushed heavily in the world, marriage, kids, a house, like those are not my end games. A God-fearing relationship is my end game. A relationship where it's free of judgment, it's free of control, it's free of jealousy, it's free of enviousness, it's free of, you know, just trying to prevent somebody from being their natural, born, true, authentic selves. That's my end goal. I've worked on my relationship with myself. I'm steadily working on my relationship with myself. I'm always bettering my connection to source, to spirit, and I will continue to do so. And with working on myself day in, day out, and working with spirit day in, day out, whatever comes my way, it has to be on that wavelength, that frequency, that vibration. Otherwise, there's no match. Um, a lot of things that are pushed out there in the world that they try to make normal are not actually normal, because there's more to life than just food. There's more to life than just sex. There's more to life than just substances. There's more to life than just alcohol. There's more to life than just partying. There's more to life than just having so-called friends or being in a relationship, or, you know, your name being spoken in places, or, you know, it's how is your spirit? How are you when you show up, right? Is your mental health intact? Is your emotional health okay? Is your spiritual health well? You know, are you taking care of your body? How is your physical health? Are you energetically being the energy that you want in your life, right? Because before we can see it in any kind of physical form, you have to make subtle changes on your inside. Oh no, this is Palo Santos. This is for cleansing. This is actually just wood. That's all it is. I did it in the beginning of this video. And that's great. Everybody learns differently. I was at a warehouse for like 5 years, so I was working Monday through Friday. And then when the weekend came, because of the environment I was at and because of like who I was entertaining, I kind of started getting into the trend of going out because it's the weekend, you know, a bar. And, you know, it wasn't so much as of a club, because I've only been to a couple of clubs. It was just a bar that had like a dance floor. And it was fun, but eventually that stuff gets old. You know, when you are an old soul and you have deep roots and there's a lot of stuff to uncover about yourself, you're not going to go with something your entire life, right? Because you know that you get pulled in other directions. You want to follow your passions. You want to follow where you're being led. You want to follow whatever is calling your soul, whatever brings you peace, whatever makes you feel energized, whatever makes you feel happy, whatever you can cultivate with your hands, because these people, places, and things, they eventually change, right? Or they may not change. It may be the same thing for the rest of, you know, being on earth, but it's a matter of understanding that you change. And with change coming from you, you're going to eventually see change outside of you. You're no longer going to be interested in certain people, places, and things because you know that there's no substance there for you, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going to a bar. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going to a club. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having the time of your life for the night. It's more so, okay, what else is there that you're interested in? You know, what else kind of calls to you? Yeah, I just wanted to share the message that more than likely, whoever I'm speaking to, whoever gets guided to this video, whoever clicks on this video, you're more than likely the first. You probably used to be the last, and now you're the first. You understand that you're the first. You were always the first. And sometimes it takes time to accept the truth about yourself, but it's better to do it now versus trying to do it later, because life is going to go on with or without you, and it makes a lot more sense for you to choose to go with the flow of life rather than fight against it. I'm the first in my family to do things entirely different, and although I felt weird, although there were times where I felt like an outcast, although there were times where I felt like the black sheep, although there were times where I just didn't feel like I was fitting in, I accept it. You know what I mean? Like peace, the definition of peace is different for everybody. Everybody is not going to have the same outlook or what it may mean to them. So I like being different. I like being weird. I like being me. I like not following a trend. I like not doing what everybody else is doing, because I like being my natural born authentic self. I like being the person that's outside of the box. I like being a free spirit. I like being a free thinker. I like being open. I like being neutral. I don't like to force myself to be something that I'm not. I show up as I am. I own that. And there's magic when you just show up as you are. Good morning. French toast, you are beautiful. That is a blessing. And you know what? I was watching a video of the singer Maya. She's very spiritual. And I'm pretty sure when she first tapped into certain passions in the field that she's in, which is entertainment, there was a lot of temptation around. A lot of things trying to pull her in many different directions, but she stayed true to who she was. And although it took time, because I know sometimes people will try to put you in a box, they'll try to force you to be something that you're not, and you have to rebel. You have to choose yourself over whatever it is somebody's trying to hold over your head, right? Success is whatever you define it as. Success is whatever you envision it as. Success is whatever it means to you. It can be something big, it can be something small. You know, it's a matter of how are you being kind to yourself? How are you treating yourself? Whatever life you want to live, do you feel like you can attain that kind of lifestyle? You know, where are you trying to go? Do you believe you can get there? These are little things that turn into bigger things, right? And recently she said in a video, Maya said that she didn't have, and this is just speaking from a woman's perspective, she didn't have interest in marriage and kids. So she's not married. I forget how old she is, but I know she's probably in her 40s, late 40s, if anything. And she said that for 7 years, she decided to be celibate. And it takes a certain amount of willpower and strength with staying true to making certain decisions. She even gave up certain like vices. She said she didn't have a drinking problem, but she let go of alcohol because she liked wine. And I'm pretty sure when you let go of certain distractions, because there's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself, but it is kind of, it can easily become a distraction. So I'm pretty sure when she let go of that, she was able to constantly pour into herself with a clear mindset, with a clear vision, with a clear heart, as well as lean on God for God's understanding and God's wisdom and God's insights, because that only pushes us further into the person we were written to be, as well as we get guided to be. And she looks great. She looks like she's a little kid almost. But I'm saying that to say she chose to make herself happy. She chose to do things that she enjoyed doing. She chose to rebel against what is the typical norm, what, you know, was going on around her, what was passed down to her, what was taught to her. You know, she chose to be different and to be the first. Even though it may seem like she was probably the last, she was always the first, and then she stepped into her power and she owned that. Yeah, you know what? I've had to accept it because I am a hopeless romantic. I had to accept. There were times where I was trying to settle in the past and I was never able to, because, see, you know the truth about people. You know when somebody is no good. It doesn't matter how many excuses you make up for them. It doesn't matter how much of good you try to see in them. You know the truth when somebody is not showing up in a manner in which you show up already for yourself, it's not going to be a connection there. It's something for the moment, right? You're going to go through these lessons for as long as you need to until you receive your understanding. um, a lot of people are tainted. A lot of people pretend to be one way, and then behind closed doors there's something totally different. This saying is, you don't know who someone is until you live with them, or until you have a baby by them, or until you get married. And before you even get to those points, if you just pay attention, you can tell what kind of energy, what kind of person, what kind of baggage, traumas, unresolved traumas, parental traumas, um, ancestral, generational traumas. Like, you can tell. And a lot of people are not, we're in times where a lot of people are not mentally present. They're not there. They're not aware. They're not conscious. They're not, and I say all this to say, sometimes they suffer from abuse, right? It could be childhood abuse. It could be sexual abuse, because things happen, right? As we live and as we grow, as we get older, things happen. But I say all this to say, if somebody hasn't taken the time to address these things within themselves, they're not going to be any kind of benefit to us. Like, if we've been doing the work on ourselves and it hasn't been easy, you can only imagine what the next person is going through, right? Maybe they didn't go through what you went through. Maybe they went through something much more dramatic, something much more violent, something much more, I don't even know the words. It's just, everybody's everybody's different, and they're different for a reason. So you don't have a lifetime to get to know other people. You have a lifetime to get to know yourself. You're still supposed to treat your neighbors as you would yourself, meaning, even if they're not kind to you, be kind. It doesn't mean you have to tolerate or be around it, or, sacrifice yourself, because that's not your job. um, yeah, absolutely. And that's how some people in the world are, but there's nothing to be afraid of. We all have a time to go. It's just a matter of, I literally told a girl yesterday, do not spend your entire youth doing something that you don't enjoy, right? And then you also want to do something where you're giving back to yourself, following some kind of passions, because you don't want to wait till you're no longer physically in your body, like trying to play catch up. That's not going to work. So even if you don't know what you want to do, or what you like to do, or what is a passion for you, or what feeds your soul, take time to sit by yourself to figure out what you enjoy, what you don't like, and just take it one step, one day at a time. I don't have all the answers. Sometimes I'm confused. Sometimes I get confused every day. But you know what? I stay true to what I like. And I go towards that, and it turns into a passion. I'm very, very simple. Um, this world is too big. At the same time, it is too small. Life is too short. At the same time, we get granted more than enough mercy to decide how we're going to show up, how we're going to move, how we're going to treat people. Accept the truth about you, right? You may be different. You may be the different one in your family. You may be the person who moves differently. You may be the person who shows up differently. You may be the person who responds differently, right? Because most people, they respond with anger, which is actual a dress up for sadness. It's misplaced anger. And I feel like I've accepted, because I've heard it and I find it very true, to punish yourself with anger is to be angry is a punishment for somebody else's behavior. So you're punishing yourself for what somebody else may have done to you, right? Or you may have done it to yourself, but you want to have peace, you want to have acceptance, you want to have mercy. We don't always do everything right. So if we do these things, right, just imagine what other people are doing. Again, doesn't mean you have to tolerate it or put up with it. No. You guys are so funny. I was burning Palo Santos before I started channeling. So, oh, that's you're beautiful. I could tell from the first comment you put up, French toast. And I actually love French toast. And then I like kind of swayed away from it. It's like waffles now. But there's nothing wrong with being different. There's nothing wrong with being the first. Accept the truth about you while you have the time to do so, and then just start showing up as best as you can. That's the message that I wanted to get out this morning. Rich Rising. Get back to French toast. It'll always be a favorite. I'm sending you guys love, light, healing vibrations. Just a reminder, there's nothing wrong with being you. You may have thought you were last, but you're actually first. And there's a blessing within that itself. There is power within that itself. There is change within that itself. Being first, right? It feels weird because it's like you thought you were supposed to be learning from other people, or you thought you were supposed to be taking whatever you were taught and applying that from other people. But the reality of it is you lead. The more you gain understanding, the more you gain wisdom, the more you gain insight, the more you experience, the more you get led, the more you allow yourself to be open to receive, you lead. And a leader is somebody that is first, whether it's the first in your family, the first at your school, the first at your job, the first in your friend circle, the first in your relationships, whether it's platonic or romantic, professional, business, whatever. You're the first to be different. Sending you love, light. I pray you are well. Praying for your healing. Pray you're getting grounded. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye.